Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasihi anenadhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaram avatu mam avatu vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right, so the number 13, it is the third hymn of Agni to Agni in the Rig Veda Mandala 1. And here we have Medhati Thi Kanva. Kanva is the whole family of Kanva, yes? Rishis, very famous in the Vedic tradition. And the hymn is what is called Aparisuktam. So Aparisuktam is a specific style which we find throughout all mandalas. Yeah? It has mainly 12 Gayatris, 12 verses, and each verse is dedicated to a particular devata. It is considered to be hymn to Agni, actually, but including other devatas. So Apri we can translate as hymn of adoration, if you will. Hymn of love. Yeah? So we can even look into the dictionary how they translate. Literally, it is from root pri, to love. Yeah, from here priti, prema, all these words. Yes, priyaha, beloved. And interesting root, because pri means to. Which is derived or kindred with the root pri, to fill, from here purna. They are staying in the same family, kindred roots. And so the word to love has many meanings in Sanskrit, one of which is to be fulfilled. Yeah? And this is priti, fulfillment, fullness, completeness. You complete me, they say sometimes. Yeah? So I become full, I become realized, I become fulfilled is even better. To become fulfilled is to fall in love, yeah? so to say. Or to rise in love, rather. So this is the Aparisuktam. So when we speak about love, so every time there is another kind of verb expresses this movement of love. One is pri, to be fulfilled. Other is, for example, idya is very often used. Agnimile, yes, is also to fall in love, or to seek with adoration, as Aurobindo says. To move towards with adoration. And many more words like snihyati, sneha from here, yes. It is to become soft, to soften, to lose that sharp perception or relation, yes, to become more embracing, even slippery, yeah? To become watery, to be yes, soft, to soften. So all these words of love have different significance. And when I was joking about this, if somebody says in Sanskrit that I love you, it's very clear what it is. Yes, it's not this I love you, whatever it means. Yeah, it means a very specific, concrete feeling. Yeah, emotion of which is expressing the meaning. So here we have this apri, fulfillment, yes, or sukta. And in the sukta we have usually 12 gayatris, and it always has the same format. It's as if it is one form in different families of rishis, in different mandalas, but we will look into these apri suktas. There are dozens of apri suktas in the Veda, and we will look into them, and you will see the same formulation of the content. So it starts with Agni, with idhma. You see, number 1, idhma or samidhi Agni, samidhi. So kindling, totally kindling the fire. Then it goes Tanunapat, is the Tanu is the body. Yeah? Usually Tanunapat is translated as the offspring or the even grandson. Yes, the product of Tanu. Of Tanu, interesting word. This is the body, but not only body in terms of physicality, but also in terms of time. So it's like a stretching, like the embodiment time, because our bodies exist not only in space, they exist also in time. We cover a specific portion of time. Yeah? We are born on particular lagna, and then we leave in particular moment of time, and that space which we cover, or that time which we cover, is our body. So body is not only physical, space occupying physicality. It is also time occupying physicality. And so Tanunapat is the offspring of that stretching from Rutan to stretch. Yeah? Yes?
Yes, I want to follow the page, but I think I'm confused.
We are just in the first, here, in the Medhatiti Kanva Devata Idma Samidhi Agni Tanunapat number 2, and then Narashamsa, and so on, Ila, and Barhis, Divyadvara, these are the rivers, the portals to the heaven, Ushasanakta, the night and dawn, Divyahota, Prachetasa, the divine Hotar, Tisro Devich, or Tisro Devyach, 3 rivers, which are usually Saraswati, Ilan, Brihati, or sorry, in his case, Bharati or Mahi. There are different names for this river. So 3 rivers, and finally Tvashta, Vanaspati, and Svahakriti. This is usually the case of all Apri Suktas. They will all cover these 12 sections. It's a very occultistic knowledge of the past, some kind of spiritual tradition of the past. So let us look into it, how it sounds.
Yes, but my question is, there is no relation between this number 13 and the 13 im to the Agni in the Secret of the Veda book, isn't it? There is no relation at all.
Why not? If it is there, then it must be there. Aurobindo translated most probably only portions related to Agni. I do not know. I don't remember. I can't understand what you're asking us.
Yeah, I have the book, The Secret of the Veda, and there, in the page 438, there is the 13th im to Agni.
Yes, Aurobindo did not translate from 6 to 12, yes? Only first 5.
I think this is another relation. I think there is another relation. There is a group of hymns to Agni up to the 28th. From the first up to the 20th, in the book, The Secret of the Veda of Sri Aurobindo.
Oh, you have to take hints to the mystic fire, and there you will find it. The secret of the Veda does not give you all the hymns to the
Okay, it's a different relation, I think, no? Okay.
Yes. Do you have hymns to the mystic fire, by the way, all of you? No? In PDF format. I sent, you can come to our Google Drive and you will find there the book in PDF and you can download it if you want to have it in PDF.
Thank you.
I will send you the link. All the materials are there, all the recordings are there, so you can kind of revisit if you want to, if you need to.
I want to add another question. If we wish to memorize one of the hymns, because we are a limited device, myself, I am a limited device, I'm trying to experience to bring to my heart and repeat it. Which verse do you recommend if we have to choose?
You can
one?
choose. Your heart should choose. They are all profound. Each verse is profound. If it resonates with you, I was, for years going in it. These verses were hammering in my head because they were needed for me, for my development. They are doing something to you. I cannot recommend you. It's your private choice. Yeah.
Okay, and there is a recording in Sanskrit pronunciation, in the Vedic pronunciation. There is a full recording, full
yes.
recitation.
You can find this. You just Google Rig Veda MP3. You will have everything. But okay, I must tell you, this is something else. You may be disappointed because they are doing it quite mechanically and very fast. So they do not put consciousness into the words. Yeah. They do it like how to say. It's for memorizing. Yes, it's something to memorize. It's not to read it to yourself. Yeah, it's not to get the meaning. And you see, I was wondering why the tradition really learned the Rig Veda and other Vedas so well, and did not have relation with the meaning so much with the text and so little with the meaning. So the meaning was lost over time. From Brahmanic period, there was hardly any explanation, only ritualistic application, which is not enough, because the Veda is the book of knowledge. It's not the book of rituals. Yeah? And then I understood it couldn't be otherwise. Can you imagine that you understand every verse totally in depth? You will not be able to read the next one. You will stay with this for the whole day. It will be you will be taken by it. You will be meditating upon it. And if you read all the verses of the Rig Veda in one go with understanding, you would explode like the nuclear bomb because you would not be able to handle the knowledge, yeah? And the power and the bliss and the light and the truth. It's charged with all of it. So the only choice that you could memorize the whole text was move away from the meaning and take the form. Otherwise you will never be able to transmit this text to the next generations. This is my answer for now. Yeah? Okay. Because once I started to look into the meaning. Yes, Kinshuk.
Yeah, just to give an idea to Siegfried, I am an Indian and I understand the pronunciation and thing very well. It takes me 2 weeks to memorize 2 lines of it. And I have been doing it for now 3 years. I have got through 3 verses. That's it. Just to give you an idea how long it takes. But all the recordings are there and it's available. So it's not a problem.
It will help you to memorize, yes. You can hear the proper pronunciation. But again, it is the pronunciation for memorizing again. Yeah. And well, then you can reshape it in your own way. Once you memorize, you can read consciously to yourself.
And what are we doing here, Vladimir, all of us?
I don't know. What are we doing? Tell me, Rashi.
Please, Vladimir, tell. I want to understand the power of explosion without memorizing.
No, I'm not saying without memorizing.
No,
I'm
I
saying,
mean to say, I feel even when we do just one line in one session, even then things are exploding within, is what I'm saying.
absolutely. So how can
No,
you
it was on a
memorize the whole
lighter
text?
note, Vladimir.
Say?
I said it was on a lighter note.
You're right. Yes. Yes, okay, great. Let's look into this profound hymn, Apri Suktam, by Kanva Rishi. Susamidhona avaha devan agneha vishmate hota pavaka yakshicha. O fire, perfectly kindled, bear the gods to him who has the offerings, O thou who purifiest. Thou, summoner, sacrifice to the gods. My interpretation, you are perfectly kindled, Susamidho. Bring the gods to us, Nach Avahadevan, who have the offering, to us who have the offering, we have the offering, to the one who offers. O priest, Hotah, and purifier of our offerings, Pavaka, for the gods to partake, Yakshicha, make this sacrifice. For the gods to partake, I'm adding, make this sacrifice, Yakshicha, sacrifice. This is, it looks like a very simple thing, but again, this Havish, or Huta, or Hava, or Havana, this is a very famous word which is produced from the root Hu, Have, if kindred root, and has two meanings of offering, making oblation into the fire, and also calling. So every time we make oblation into the fire, we are calling to the gods, because we have something to offer. We have something for them to do. They have to come and take our offering and transform that part of our being into the divine prototype. So we are invoking them to change ourselves, inviting them for our own transformation. And everything we offer to them, they transform into their divine properties. So they remove the things which have to be burnt, purify them, and Agni is one of the greatest purifiers. Yes, he is Pavaka, the one who makes everything pure, divine. And he is invoking or bringing the divine forces into action. There is the whole hymn, I think it is from the second mandala, to Agni, where he is identified with all the gods, one by one. Starting from the highest Adityas, going through Rudra, everyone is there, Indra, Vishnu, every godhead, Ashwins, Agni, because they are acting through him and by him in our own sacrificial, transformational enterprise. We are constantly invoking them for this enterprise. And this is we know as evolution of consciousness, as constant betterment of our being is taking place through this process of invoking higher powers and letting them work upon our nature. So here I wrote a few things. It is a part of the system where the major characteristic of this creation is our free will here, joy and freedom. It's according to the mother, are essential features of this creation according to the mother. Nothing can be truly changed here unless it is freely offered to the divine powers for transformation. Therefore, the path is so difficult, for the destruction and death are indispensable if we cannot freely offer all to the divine powers for transformation. For the very purpose of this creation was this work of transformation, redemption, as Mother describes. And it is only that offering which is completely taken and purified, prepared by the divine will, and it indeed is accepted by the gods for the transformation. So it has to be offered freely. This is something which Aurobindo describes, that you see the divine grace, which answers the gods. The gods are the actions of that divine grace which come down and transform our nature. That is fine, but the offering we must do ourselves. We can't expect that the divine will do also offering for us. We can't expect, as Mother says, that the surrender will be done for us by the divine. We must do the surrender. We must make the offering. And it is that is our free choice. Yes, free will is to follow the divine transformation. There is nothing else for us here to do, actually, only this. If we do this, wherever we are, whatever we do, we will fulfill our purpose. Our purpose is this transformation, or redemption, as Mother says, of those first fallen emanations. They have to return to their divine origin. So they fell from their divine origin. Consciousness turned into darkness, as you remember, bliss into the suffering, truth into falsehood, and life into death. And now they have to be redeemed. And this process of redemption is done by the sacrifice. So by us, we came down as the souls of the divine, who signed, as Kirit Joshi beautifully says to us in the meeting with Aurovillians, who signed with the divine the contract. We signed the contract that we will redeem and will bring those fallen emanations back. That means we will build for the divine the home, the place to stay in time and space. So when we signed the contract, he says, in small letters, the conditions of the contract, where there's was written that the moment we sign the contract and plunge into the darkness, we will forget about the contract. So here we are, we forgot about the contract, but the Vedas are reminding us about this contract. We are here to do the transformation of nature. That's all what we are here meant to do. There is nothing else for us here to do. And what we call work, karma, which is later known as work and activity, is actually a sacrifice. It is charging the unregenerated nature with the consciousness, bringing consciousness into action constantly. That's our activity. It makes sense. Yeah? If you think in the highest sense, what we are here to do, to gain, it is only this. And the rest is just the means to do it. So from another side, there is a power of selfishness, the Asuric power, as it were, which can be translated in terms of ego. This power is based on desire. In the Veda, it was called of Dasyus in opposition to that of the Aryan. Aryan is the one who is doing the sacrifice, and Dasyus are those who oppose this movement. The Dasyu consciousness does not sacrifice. It hates the word. They do not know how to sacrifice. The call to the higher powers. The word is, again, our word, our speech is always an invocation of a higher consciousness. It's another kind of highest characteristic of the word, which should come and occupies the space it wants to do, to have and to be independent. So the Dasya power hates the word, the call to the higher powers, which should come and occupy the space, this higher consciousness of the divine. Yeah. So the Dasya power wants to be what it is. It is this constant struggle within our psychology between our self-preservation, what we call sustainability. We want to sustain what we are already, as if that is not to be changed. So the Veda offers us totally different paradigm. We must constantly change. We must be constantly on the path. We should never try to preserve what we are, because what we are is to be changed. So we have to go ahead instead of trying to preserve what we are. That the power which tries to preserve what we are is actually an Asuric power. Yeah, the word of crookedness is in another place, they say. The Aryan word is the word of straightness, which leads us straight to the divine. And the word of crookedness is the word, the truth, which was once true, is now used to oppose the change. And we know this. It's our major dilemma, major psychological dilemma. To change or not to change? That is the question.
This reminds me, Vladimir, of the drawing that Mother has done of that zigzag path. You remember? Because we don't want to change, we go back and forth doing the same thing. So we could go straight, but then we go to do the zigzag. Remember that?
Yeah, this was the nature's path. Nature covers all possibilities, and it goes so slow forward. And there is yoga, which goes straight. The path of straightness and the path of crookedness covers. But nature still goes forward, only it will take billions of years. Yes. So now, since the man is born, the Veda is brought to us, that the purpose is revealed, then we can understand what we are here to do, and we can establish that path of straightness. Yeah? Because we understand why we are here. This is the only answer why we are here. There is no other answer. We are here to redeem the fallen self, which we took onto ourselves as our robe, as our body. Our body is unconscious. It has to become conscious, immortal. The immortality is to be brought to our living, to our life. That's what we are here to do. So the fire was kindled totally, perfectly. Sam idhar. Interesting, yes? Idhar, kindle, sam, totally, su, perfectly. Perfectly, totally kindled our fire. Bring to us the gods, the divine powers for transformation, or Agni, to the one who offers, who has something to do here with these powers, who wants the change. Avishman is the one who wants the change, who has something to offer. Hota, or the invoker of the powers. Pavaka, or purifier of our offering, because when we offer it is not totally pure. So he will purify it, he will prepare it, he will make it suitable for the divine manifestation. Yakshicha, and transform. This is profound, yeah? Transform now. Purify and transform. And then, Madhumantam tanunapad yajñam deveshu nachkave adya karanuhi vitaye. O son of the body, this is tanunapad. Tanu is the body. Aurobindo translates it like this: O son of the body. He leaves there some meaning. We will look into it. Why son of the body? Now make the sacrifice honeyed for the gods. Madhumantam yajñam deveshu nachkave adyakrenuhi. Make madhumantam yajñam, make the honeyed, full of honey sacrifice, full of bliss, or full of honey among the gods, deveshu, for their enjoyment, vitaye, osia, kave. O divine, growing from within the material body, I am translating like this, make the transformation of this body today full of delight for the gods to come and to grow within it. Aurobindo says, it's a note in the secret of the Veda, the honey of swiftness is the madhu, the soma, the wine of the ananda, of which the gods have the ecstasy. There is something which attracts the gods here, and that is the hidden delight of the truth behind each object in which we live. And somewhere even he says that when we are attracted to the things in manifestation, to the objects, normal objects, it is what attracts us is not really the object. Of course, we are not attracted to the lamp or to the, to the telephone as it is. It is the delight which is within it, the truth. We want the delight, the honey which that object hides behind. And that is totally true. There is the delight in everything, behind every object. And that delight, that soma, has to be extracted, purified, and offered to the higher consciousness. This was the transformational process of sacrifice. So everything, whatever we do, if I'm calling and writing the message to my friend on the phone, if I can feel that delight, so to say, I'm exaggerating now, but trying to go that way, if I extract the delight of that particular activity of consciousness, sending the message through a device which allows me to do it, and that all process and action, that delight, that honey, I can offer to the higher consciousness, then this is the way to live. I have to offer to the divine everything, not only food. In India, they remember to offer the food every time before eating, yes? They do the mantras that accept our food and bring your consciousness or your power into us. A mother has beautiful mantras for the food. And this is only one part, food. Food is the most significant and symbolic process of enjoyment in the manifestation. But everything else can be an enjoyment in manifestation. Everything, all the activities, yes? And rest and work. And so the karma yoga ideal was to convert our activities into the blessed state of self-discovery and transformation. All the activities can be done as educational, as yoga, as karma yoga. We can offer everything to the divine, whatever we do, think, feel, act. Everything we can extract the soma, the delight, madhumantam yajñam, and for the gods, deveshu. Create for them the delight for these activities, the divine activities in us, as delightful activities, that they come to this delight and transform our perception, our consciousness here. I was joking once about this before, that we usually offer to the divine the activity. I offer to you my activity. But when the delight comes, we kind of partake that delight fast for ourselves, for our ego self. So we say the divine, take whatever, we surrender to you my day, my life, my everything. But when the delight is there to enjoy, when there's ice cream there, somehow you forget about the divine, and the ice cream goes straight to you without second thought. So it should be just the opposite. We should do the work, extract the delight, and when the delight is there, we have to remember the divine. It's kind of funny.
I wanted to say in Isha Upanishad, the first shloka is just about that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, don't grab, because to whom it belongs. And by Isha dwells everything. So we have to discover Isha in ourselves, and then we can bring all that delight to Isha straight. So we don't need to separate ourselves from the divine.
Absolutely. Isha is more complex in that sense, because Isha is telling us something, that we are the Lord. So, as you remember, Ishavasyamidam sarvam, all this is for habitation by the Lord. Yat kimcha jagatyam jagat, whatever exists in this universal motion moves. Tenat yaktena bhunjitha, rejoice or enjoy all that, having become free from it, having become the Lord of it, so to say. You don't be dependent on the object of enjoyment, and enjoy the whole world. Magridach, don't grab. Kasyas vidhana, whose wealth is it? And the question stays. Shankaracharya says it's Lord's wealth, that's why don't grab, it's not yours. It's this old interpretation. But the newer is that you are the Lord. If you are free from the object of enjoyment, it is already yours. Why do you grab? It's given to you. This world is not havable. It's already yours by default. So why do you have to put it into your pockets thinking, so now you have it? You don't have it. In that moment when you think that way, you are Anisha, you are not the Lord, because the Lord is free from the object of enjoyment. It is all His. You don't come to your house and then grab something and say, this is mine. This is already yours. You don't need to grab it. So this kind of vision that we are the Lord, only we have to discover that freedom from the object of enjoyment, and then enjoy the whole world. The same idea, but more sophisticated, of course, in Isha than in the Veda. Because in the Veda there is the process, constant offering, constant distilling the delight and offering to the higher powers in us. Because when we invoke these forces, divine forces, we invoke them as our inbuilt, our inner forces, inner powers, our universal powers of our own consciousness. Only we are not aware of it yet. We think that some other forces are coming and transforming us. This is our position. But truly speaking, very soon we will discover that that flame which burns in us and all the Godheads whom this flame brings into action is actually ourselves. And that is what Isha does. Isha kind of develops this idea further. Right. Just switched off because I wanted to see your faces. Otherwise, I don't see your only text. So here we are, the number 3. There was something here.
Excuse me, Vladimir.
Could you be a little louder? Yes, it's still louder. Is it not loud enough? Hello, hello, hello.
Vladimir, that was sent when the class started. You're reading
Oh,
it
yeah.
now.
So sorry. Now it's okay. Narasham sam iha priyam asmin yajne upahvaye madhujihvam havishkritam. Him, the beloved, I call hither to this sacrifice, he who creates the offerings, possessed of honeyed tongue. Narashamsam. Narashamsa is one of the epithets of Agni in the Veda. It is the one who is praised by, and I will translate it differently, the heroic souls of man. The one who is praised by heroic, it's another translation what Aurobindo gives to Nara, is heroic soul or the heroic power of the soul of man. Naras in the Veda are also the gods, but the gods who dared, who agreed to come down and to act upon our consciousness here. So Narashamsam is the one who is worshipped or praised by the heroic souls, or even by the gods can be translated. Him who is praised by the great heroes, the beloved Priyam, the one who fulfills us, who makes us complete. I call to this sacrifice. Asmin yajne upahvaye. Upahvaye, I call Asmin yajne, in this transformation, in this sacrifice. The one who himself makes the offering. Havishkritam, who himself makes the offering, possessed of a blissful call, of a honeyed tongue to the gods, Madhujihvam, who has the honeyed tongue. You see, this is a full picture. Honeyed tongue is, first of all, he calls them with bliss, and he carries the bliss on the tongue for them to partake, to taste. Yeah, so he is both. He is sweetly calling that they cannot refuse his call. None of the gods can refuse his call because he is the divine will. He wills and they obey. They even don't want to obey him, but they must obey him. They want to avoid this coming down into this unregenerated, darkened, narrow being and consciousness. Actually, the gods are not very fond of this being sacrificed here. In other places, it is said that Agni himself sacrifices here the gods. He makes them work. They don't want that work, but they must obey. And his honeyed tongue is actually something which also attracts them because they want that honey. This manifestation, that hidden honey behind each object, is attracting higher powers. You remember the best explanation I found in one movie on Troy. Maybe you saw with Brad Pitt there also, where he plays Achilles. And when he is with this lady there, whom he stole from Troy, and he tells her, the sister of the king, of the prince, he tells her that, you know, gods envy us. And they envy us because we experience the world. This moment, this beautiful moment of us being here together and you wanting to kill me with the knife, this will never repeat itself in the universe. It is only once given to experience. And this is my secret to you. They envy us. They want to experience this absolute freedom of not repetitive events in time and space. And this is something that honey, that particular honey, can be experienced only once in that moment of time. And that is what attracts them. They all want to experience that uniqueness of the being, yes, which you cannot experience in the typal realm where they are. They are their typal beings. They do not have any change. They do not know change. And in time and space, this change is taking place all the time. And it is full of honey, unique enjoyment, which they are attracted to. There was another movie from The Fallen Angels or something like that. And the angel fell because he fell in love, and so he fell into, became a human being. And he says to him, to another angel, the taste of peanut butter is so unique. Peanut butter was a discovery for him, for the typal being. And you see, we are taking for granted this embodiment here. We think that we have everything, you know, it's boring. It's not boring. It's uniquely full of honey and very attractive for the divine forces. Yes, Kinshuk.
Vladimir, I have a question relating to honey, which is that, do you think we really know how to enjoy over here? I mean, are we even getting 1% of the enjoyment that we are entitled to? This is a general question, not related to this. But all this talk of honey sort of tells me, or what I understand from it is, that we do not even understand what kind of enjoyment we are capable of. Just a thought. Sorry.
Sorry, it was very nice. It's yes, I think we are discovering the depth of enjoyment more and more. The whole world is built from bliss. By bliss it lives, and to bliss it goes. Yes, you remember. Yeah? Ananda dhyeva kalvimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti anandam prayanti upa abhisamvishanti. So this is from Taittiriya. So all comes from the bliss, lives by bliss, and into the bliss goes. This is what we are here to discover. And how can we really live by bliss? It is the only way to do it is to offer it to our higher divine powers within us. And then when they come, and it is said in the Veda, it's quite interesting, when the gods come to taste the bliss of our existence, they bring more delight with them. So we become more capable of enjoying life. Enjoyment is hidden in this process of growth of consciousness. The more we are conscious of our being, the more bliss we can take. The less we are conscious, the more the desire is there. The desire is not an enjoyment. It's a suffering of some kind. It's never fulfilling. It's always insufficient. Did you notice it? Whenever you realize the desire, Aurobindo speaks on that. He says that why when we realize our desires, we are always surprised that it wasn't that what we expected. Yeah? Because because we expected that honey. And what we got the satisfied desire, which is never satisfied, by the way. In Dhammapada, Buddha says even the rain of golden coins cannot satisfy the desire, because the desire is always looking for new burning of something. It is not really satiable. Yes, you cannot really satisfy it. You cannot stop that thirst of the desire, that hunger, until you are fully realized. So why don't we go straight to full realization more and more, instead of trying to satisfy the desire, and this way to come to the fulfillment?
So what we are doing is kind of wasting it, or are we giving it to the dark forces? What are we really doing?
We are giving it to the darker forces in us, and we are blocking our fulfillment and our honey, actually, our delight. This is what happens. And even people with all the means for enjoyment and a happy life, they are very unhappy in their castles with their ice creams, and they don't know why we are so unhappy having everything, and doesn't give us fulfillment, because that honey is something else. It's the fulfillment of consciousness.
Vladimir,
Yeah.
I have a question. Just to follow up on what Kinshika was asking, what if these are things that we want to offer?
Everything.
Then, yeah, I mean, whether it is desire, whatever it is, like, no? When you mentioned about use of the consciousness, the resistance coming in the way, isn't this plane of duality? Like, you look at both sides, the dark and the light. So if we are accepting, okay, this is there in me and I want to kind of offer it, wouldn't that also help?
We are offering everything which is dark in us to become lighter, yes? Which is gross in us to become subtle. So we are constantly, the whole activity of life, as I understand, is only this: offering everything which is to be offered to become more divine in its nature, or in more conscious in its usage. Conscious means divine in my language. Yeah? So we want to be more aware of things, aware, and that awareness is luminosity, and that luminosity is knowledge. And once we are aware, then somebody asks Aurobindo, will there be anything to do after we realize the supermind? If we achieve the fullness of realization, is evolution ending there at that level, so to say? We become immortal beings. Suppose we are immortals. Everything is perfect with us, in our bodies, in our minds, in our vital feelings, emotions. So we are fulfilled, so to say, totally. Will there be still an evolution? And you know what he answers, yeah? Most probably I already spoke about this. Because it looks like to our mind that it is the end of evolutionary process. The redemption is over. So what's the hell else there to do? And he says, you can always learn something from the infinity. There will be continuation of evolution, but from light to greater light. And I can add from bliss to greater bliss, from truth to greater truth. There is always something in the infinity to learn. So this is the beautiful answer. It actually kind of removes all the doubts. This is the process which was established by the divine, and that is the sacrifice. The sacrifice, we can translate sacrifice as making sacred. Everything has to become the divine. the vulgar has to become sacred.
So, Vladimir, can the sacrifice also mean surrender?
Yes, it is a surrender. Surrender is what we describe as a process. You have to surrender part of your being or your full being to this, to the divine presence in you. And that divine presence is to grow more and more, and you have to surrender more and more. This is the process of the sacrifice. Yes.
Yet instinct within me tells me to self-preserve, but actually what I should be doing is just the opposite, to surrender.
Yes, it's our duality of our psychology. One part tells us, wait a minute, it's dangerous, you're out of control, it's something, you are in the unknown zone, you don't know what is next. So we are all afraid of the unknown. And because we want to shrink back and to stay where we already know who we are. Yeah, from there, slowly, not very fast, under control, developing. That's what we want. But there comes the time when you start trusting the divine and you are ready to give yourself. Whatever it may be, as Mother says. Whatever you want me to be, let me be. What you want me to know, let me know. This is already an understanding of what we have to arrive at. And then we will be ready to progress faster. Otherwise, of course, nature will go its way, push us forward slowly.
Excuse me, Vladimir, I want to clarify something. You told me once will is in a prakriti dimension, is higher prakriti, no? Will, isn't it?
Yes, it is a will of Purusha, of course, but still, yes, prakriti does it, yes.
And in the hymns of the Veda, what I see is a configuration. I don't know if it's always like this, but I catch the configuration of we, us, Agni, the second Agni, and the third gods. No, it's these three steps, no, from us through Agni up to gods, right? And what I want to know if is all of this in the prakriti dimension. If when we are fuse our consciousness in the God's consciousness, are we still, when we say will divine, are we still in this higher prakriti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prakriti is not only a apara prakriti, it's also para prakriti. And so with the higher gods. And so basically prakriti, we don't have this word here, notice, in the Veda. You will not meet prakriti word in the Veda. So, because this idea of separation of Purusha and Prakriti is philosophical already. Rig Veda is not dealing with this philosophically. It deals with it practically. It gives us immediate understanding of the process. Notice, we understood it not through the mind, not through the scheme. We understood it through psychological touch of some kind. Immediate action is taking place. It is always from the first person. Notice, all the rishis speak from the first person, not from the third person. They don't explain things. They don't tell us how things are. They act. That action we feel, and that's how it ignites in us the divine presence. That's why the Veda was so sacred and so profound and so necessary to preserve, because this text is the text of action, of consciousness within us, and it immediately activates in us all the the movements of the divine within us.
Okay, then if we are established in this action, are we focused in the achievement or in the process?
In the process.
Always in the process. We are not in the achievement. We are not in the, when we are talking about the third part, the third step, we are talking about gods, but we are bringing gods in our consciousness. Then is consciousness, our consciousness is the Godhead consciousness.
Yes.
But you say we are not.
Well, there is no one hymn where it is said that it is ended.
Only stay in the process.
Well, this is again a mental formulation, what you do. I never read anywhere that they got the divine presence here and now it's done. There is no one hymn where it is said, okay, finished, fulfilled, thank you, goodbye. So this would be the result. Yeah. Every time new line, bring here the gods, make this sacrifice burn. So you can figure out that most probably it's in the process. Yeah. Because the process is never ending, as we just spoke about. The evolution never ends. Even if we reach to the immortality in the physical being, it will still continue to be the process. It's unending process of the divine manifestation. Yeah.
Then there is not relation with the psychic being, as
why not?
Aurobindo says.
No,
because
the psychic flame is the, yeah, why not? No. In what sense there is no relation in the psychic being?
What I understand is psychic being, to experience psychic being is to experience the God in us already.
The psychic being is a Yajamana, actually. It is that flame of Agni in us, the beloved one which grows. It is the one who makes all the offerings, the one who, this sacred word Yajamana, who makes the sacrifice possible, who makes the offering. Actually, this is how we are identified. We are Yajamana here in the divine sense. We are here to do the offering. We are the spark of that flame. We call the flame to burn more and more in us. We as a spark want that flame to take over the whole charge of our life. So at the beginning, it's like we, fire, and gods. You can put them because these are words for the action of the process. But the fire is we, and the gods are we.
Yeah.
And but the process makes us speak that way, that there are gods, and the gods are also the divine in different faculties. Each name of the god reflects a particular action of the divine. Yeah. It is in the name. Yeah, the names of the gods tell us what the divine is doing in that particular regard.
I say this because it's very easy to pose ourselves in the duality, always keeping us in the duality of we are here and gods are outside. We are looking for always something outside what we didn't achieve. We are always with the carrot in front of the stick, you know?
That will be there forever, that carrot. We will be just moving all the time.
Thank you.
We will never catch the carrot. So.
Like a donkeys. Yeah, why not? Funny boy.
That's exactly your question, whether we will get the carrot or not. So will there be a result when we will get the carrot and finally finish the process? I say no, carrot will always hang there, and we will follow the carrot and become more and more carrot ourselves, you know. By the way, I have a carrot color today. So this is funny. If you have some other questions or remarks, please. We took only 3 verses, but kind of working on our psychology to relate the knowledge to us. And of course, it's very useful. In every way, I find the Veda is the most illumining literature, spiritual ever. Greater even than all the post-Vedic profound literature in Hinduism.
So, Vladimir, just to make it simple for me to understand, so the psychic being which is inside is like this mediator. It's also part of the Agni, and it's getting us what Purusha wants and getting this information to Prakriti. So we don't have to think about Purusha and Prakriti and complicate it. We can just put our attention to the psychic being and then keep putting attention and then let it grow in us, and then it can guide us, right?
Well, this is the solution Aurobindo offers. Why to go so philosophical long way? You just come to your center in the heart, the flame burning there, and start growing the flame. And it will do the job. It will invoke the forces. It will bring all the means necessary for our transformation, since we are here for this purpose. So, and we also grow in consciousness. We ourselves change and become fulfilled. And the whole honey comes to us. And we can feel the bliss of existence more and more. That's, you see how beautifully it is arranged. Yes, Kinshuk.
And is that the sunlit path?
That is the sunlit path. There isn't, what else, what other sunlit path could be? Just give everything to the divine all the time. And that will be your path. You don't need to know where you're going, because you're going there where the divine wants you to go. Is it not easy?
So if I had to make a play on today's session, Vladimir, in my theater company, it would have 2 characters, one in the castle eating ice cream and seeking honey and not knowing what, and the other becoming from carrot to more carrot, reaching the infinity, and then moving from light to more light. Yeah, these would be my 2 characters from today's session.
So the choice would be for the castle and the ice cream, most probably. Not
and the carrot. And the carrot. That's how the audience will get the Vedas, don't you think?
I think so. Well, Aurobindo was also out of these illusions. He said to, in one place in the letters he writes about that if you give a choice to the even developed human being between 2 different divines, one would be vitalistic divine, which knows how to fulfill our desires, and the other would be a proper, true divine, spiritual presence, then the choice is clear that everybody will choose the divine which fulfills our desires. With no doubt. Nobody will choose the real divine. Everybody would say, no, this is not real. This is real. So, of course, who wants to grow into carrot? This is, the problem of our sustainability of this, what we took onto ourselves and built something. We got some peanuts, some small realizations, and we keep to them as if they are everything, because what else? We unknown, otherwise unknown. You have to step into the unknown. You have to agree to die. You have to agree to come out from your comfort zone. God knows what will happen. It's really a big question, because even in meditation and when you do meditation and you feel that now you can step out of yourself, when you step out of your body, get out of your body or exteriorize, or you go somewhere into the higher states of consciousness, the fear comes immediately to this. lower being, telling what is going on, what will happen next, where will I be? I, this unregenerated self, yes, which wants to survive. It creates impossibility of change. It's constantly there. So the ice cream and castle is not the worst solution, actually, for it. It would agree. It would say, okay, good choice. And it will convince our mind very easily, because our mind is, again, a problematic being. It's a part of that system of Prakriti, of a lower Prakriti.
So like you were saying, they are little peanuts, the realizations that we have. So they're like little reminders, actually, like, because you said we signed the contract and we plunged and we forgot. So we've forgotten, but then we get these little peanuts. They are like little alarm for us to remember the little realizations that, oh, it is that actually, right? And then we choose whether to expand on that or just to, keep asking, where am I? Is it safe?
You can see this in religious traditions or even spiritual traditions nowadays, that many people got some realization, some glimpse of the divine, including myself, everyone. And that glimpse becomes kind of promising land or some kind of promising force, which we would like to keep. We don't want to go farther. We got something, small thing, but that is good enough for me for now. I don't disturb the rest of me. I'm secured on this side and on that side. I'm in the ashram at the same time. I have everything else under control. I have my ice cream at home and I go for meditation at the same time. My one foot is here and another foot is there. I'm secured. This is what we do because we know that's our nature. It demands attention. We cannot step out of it. That's why the sacrifice is a beautiful idea. We can offer. We can't make change, but we can offer for a change. We have someone in us who can take that offer and bring the forces necessary for transformation. We cannot do transformation, but we can offer and call and offer and call. Remember and offer, remember and offer. There is nothing else here to do. Just remember and offer. And let it do. And then, as someone here says, blame the mother if she doesn't do. But you make your offering first. If she is not willing to do this transformation, then maybe you are not ready. Maybe you have still to wait. But still, it's a constant process of remembering and offering. That's what Siegfried was asking. Is there realization? No, there is only offering, constant remembering and offering, ongoing, forever. And this is the sunlit path, and it is a great solution for all of us. You don't need to do more. Whatever you do, Rashi, you are going for your this, you go, remember and offer all the time. Try. It is so beautiful. Then you are free, first of all. Everything comes to you, all right thoughts, right feelings, right relations. You know the right word to say, what choice to make. It's all there. You don't need to suffer your own egoistic decision. Of course, it's easier to say than to do. But once we start doing, once we see the ice cream, we forget. And this thing comes immediately first. It jumps first and grabs. But with practice, it can be established. With practice. All right, I will. Oh, I got 17 minutes more. So sorry for the time factor. I'm closing with mantra. Om Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hariom.